Bring in the Manager of Opposition Business now, Paul Fletcher. Do you have a nice Easter? I should first of all ask you, Paul, do you get a break at all? I know you guys don't really ever get a rest.
I had a great Easter, thanks, Pete. I hope you did too, and I hope your viewers were rested, but obviously we're back into it and a lot to do.
We are back into it, and the Treasurer, he's heading off to Washington, D.C. tomorrow with Phil Lowe. It's a pre-budget finance ministers meeting, as well as central bank governors as well, kind of getting the temperature from the global economies there before the actual budget kicks off here in 4 weeks actually from now. What is your hopes? What are you hoping for this budget? And of course, you want to rein in spending, but how are you going to do that?
Well, what we need to see is a plan from this Treasurer, Jim Chalmers. He's had this curious style since he's been the Treasurer. He offers commentary on the events of the day. I mean, his piece in the Monthly at the start of the year, he had 5 separate excuses. If the economy were to go bad, it could be war in Europe. If China recovers from COVID, recessions in the Northern Hemisphere, when and how rate rises will bite, future natural disasters. All very passive. He's the Treasurer. He has his hands on his levers. We know we've got 6.8% inflation, some of the highest in 30 years. We know we've got 800,000 people rolling from fixed rate mortgages to floating rate mortgages this year. We know that energy prices...
That's out of his hands though, isn't it?
We know that energy prices are going up when they promised that they were going to be going down. So we need to see this Treasurer with a clear plan. I mean, obvious question, will we be seeing more tax rises? We know Labor governments are addicted to tax increases. They promised that there would be no new taxes on super. They broke that promise a few months ago. Will they stick by the stage 3 tax cuts? These are the kinds of questions I think that Australians would rightly be asking ahead of the upcoming...
So how would you rein in spending?
Well, I'm not here to tell the Treasurer how to do his job. He's got plenty of advice, but we as a Liberal Party stand for clear principles, and we certainly want to see lower taxes. We've got those stage 3 tax cuts that we legislated. We want to see the government stick to those. But, we've seen the news this morning. The Victorian government in terrible financial trouble and approaching the Commonwealth government for a bailout. Well, certainly I'd be encouraging them not to be responding to that. But it's just a reminder to us that it's ingrained in the DNA of the Labor Party that when they're in government, they spend and spend, put up taxes.
So they're going to help with bills. I mean, the Treasurer has energy bills, I should say, for middle income to lower income earners. This is something that has been pointed to in the past. Given that you've got a rein in spending, is that a wise move?
Remember that Labor came to power in May last year promising to reduce energy bills. They said, the Prime Minister said 97 times before the election, $275 reduction in power bills. So apparently then they had a set of policies. We're going to see power bills coming down. We're now seeing power bills going up, and the Prime Minister's new explanation is, he called us back in December. He had a plan that was going to solve the problem. That was, of course, after, in the budget, we learned 56% increase in electricity prices. We still have not seen, Australian families still have not seen those price reductions coming through. And now we're being told, good news, the reductions are going to be less than they were otherwise going to be. But the default market offer came out just a couple of weeks ago, and that is seeing, just in the state of New South Wales, for example, that default market offer for energy prices will be up almost $564 per year. So these are the things I think Australians are expecting the Treasurer to address. We've got a cost of living crisis.
There's a lot of it out of his hands, though. I mean, you've also got this story out today that suggests there's going to be a $5 billion shortfall when it comes to tobacco excise and GST as well. I mean, I think that's a good thing that people are smoking less, but I guess it's driving people towards, vapes and illegal tobacco. An idea of $5 billion now that's got to be found somewhere else. So any suggestions on where they might start looking there?
Well, look, the Commonwealth government is, the revenues are in the order of $500 billion a year, around that. This is a very, very significant collection of revenue, tax revenue, and also spending. Let's see some discipline on the spending side. We've been pretty clear. The NDIS, there's a clear cost problem with the NDIS. Leader of the Opposition, Peter Dutton, has said pretty clearly, we're ready to work with the government on that issue, amongst others. Let's see some clear plans from this government on the issues of getting costs under control.
Okay, The Voice, just to clarify, you're going to campaign against it?
I'm a member of the Liberal Party. I'm a member of Shadow Cabinet. Our position is we're opposed to The Voice.
Yep.
And
You'll be campaigning against it?
I will be doing the same as all of my Cabinet colleagues and parliamentary colleagues. I mean, it's our job to put the case for Liberal Party policy.
So how are you going to campaign against it?
Well, on a day-to-day basis, as a member of Shadow Cabinet, I make the case for Liberal Party policies across the whole range of areas, and I'll continue to be doing that.
Right, but how will you do it?
I will be speaking about our policy position, and I'll be making the case, as will every member of Shadow Cabinet.
What happens if someone doesn't? What happens if someone doesn't?
The position of Shadow Cabinet, the position of the Liberal Party room is clear.
Well, I asked because Simon Birmingham was asked about this the other day, and he suggested that he would let others do the work when it comes to campaigning against it.
I don't think anybody could suggest that Simon Birmingham is doing anything other than working incredibly hard every day to make the case for Liberal Party policies. He's our leader in the Senate, a very effective job there. He's our shadow foreign affairs spokesman, doing a very effective job there. All of us, each one of us has a set of portfolio responsibilities. I'm Shadow Minister for the Arts and Science, Government Services, Digital Economy. So I have a lot of focus on that. Each of us has our focus on particular areas, but we also make the case for Liberal Party policy, and we've reached our policy position in relation to The Voice after a Shadow Cabinet, full ministry, Shadow Ministry and Party room, and we've arrived at the position that we have for all the good reasons that Peter Dutton and Susan Lowe have explained.
All right. Paul Fletcher, appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,